Let's just start by sitting comfortably, trying to find a stable, comfortable, upright position. Feet flat on the floor, mainly thinking about keeping our spine nice and straight. Hands resting in the lap, right over left with the thumbs gently touching or resting on our knees. Just finding whatever stable, comfortable position works for you. And start to concentrate your attention in the present moment, not letting your awareness move into all of the thoughts and busyness of your day. Just telling yourself that there's nothing to do right now, nothing else that needs your attention. Those things we can come back to. But right now we're just going to bring our awareness inside the body and mind, not letting it move to the outside world. So just have a sense of letting go. Anytime anything grabs your attention, just respond with a mind of releasing, just coming back again and again to the breath, paying attention to whatever physical sensations arise with the air as it passes into and then again back out of the tip of the nostril. And anything that grabs our attention, we just notice and then gently let go of, again and again, bringing our awareness to that present moment, physical sensation. Within this relaxed and concentrated state, try to set a strong, virtuous intention. For this session of meditation. A strong determination to find a method, a tool, something of practical benefit for your daily life, to turn to as a spiritual solution to suffering. But recognizing on the basis of interdependence that it isn't just for oneself alone, but more and more work on my own mind, then the more and more benefit I can bring to those around me. So it's for the purpose of not only my own happiness, but also for the goal of being able to work more and more effectively for others. Try to hold that intention firmly in the mind. And then in your imagination, try to hold an image of yourself in meditation. But that image is more transparent, translucent, not so much flesh and blood, but more energetic. Hold to a visualization that in all directions you're surrounded by a field of golden white energy. That energy is in the nature of all of the highest spiritual qualities that you would like to develop. Perfect love, perfect wisdom, perfect compassion, generosity, patience, morality. And visualize that on each in-breath, you become more and more associated with that energy, bringing it in, letting it fill your body and mind. And on each out-breath, you exhale stale, negative energies, the energies of negativity. And upon the exhalation, those negativities just completely vanish. So try to hold in your mind this process of becoming more and more in sync with, associated with that energy of your own highest potential. Now turn your attention to thinking about all other sentient beings, all of the other billions of sentient beings on our planet, recognizing that there's no difference between myself and all of those other beings. 24 hours a day, I'm working to secure my happiness and to avoid any unpleasantness, any obstacles. All other sentient beings are trying to do exactly the same. Whatever their culture, whatever their opinions, whatever their age or gender, just like me, they're trying to be happy and to avoid suffering. And to them, their happiness is just as important as mine is to me. And their suffering is just as painful as my own. We all have an equal right to be successful in obtaining happiness and being free from suffering. In terms, though, of results, the mind of self-centeredness, the mind that prioritizes my own happiness, my own freedom from suffering above those of all others, is significantly different from the attitude of cherishing all living beings. The narrow mind of self-centeredness is the source of all conflict and all suffering. The expansive mind of cherishing others is the source of all happiness. So set a determination to be able to shift your concern from oneself to others by coming to understand the disadvantages of the narrow mind of self-centeredness and the advantages of cherishing others. So I first contemplate that the wish to secure only my own happiness is a selfish, narrow attitude that results in fear and constriction. When things go other than how we intend, we exaggerate that negative consequence and we become overwhelmed. And try to make a few examples in your own life when you felt that kind of constriction from only looking out or being concerned about securing your own ends. In terms of my relationships with others, my narrow self-concern gives rise to unrealistic expectations of always being complimented, always being treated kindly. It leaves me unable to bear any criticism. So we have a barrier between ourselves and realistic relationships with others that are born out of concern for their well-being. We reject and see faults in others. We become envious of their good fortune. So Try to make a few examples of times when being overly concerned with your own ends caused interpersonal conflict. And think that the mind that trains in the attitude of being more concerned with the happiness of others reverses these shortcomings, dissatisfaction, anger, and attachment all become reduced. My own happiness and those of others instantly becomes increased. My own self satisfaction increases because my perspective has widened and my own problems become less significant. We feel closer to sentient beings, and we develop courage and strength rather than a tight, fragile mind. So having contemplated the disadvantages of self-centeredness and the advantages of cherishing others, think how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings had happiness and the causes of happiness. How wonderful it would be if they were free of suffering and the causes of suffering. How wonderful it would be if they were to abide in a state of stable, unchanging peace and satisfactions. And try to hold in your mind, may they abide like that, and may I work toward their being able to abide like that. And try to create a stable determination. When you can give rise to a stable, visceral determination, then rest your mind in that, just holding to it single-pointedly. And when you're ready, we'll come back together. So we'll come back and do a brief dedication. So we think that in the beginning we set a virtuous motivation, and we engaged in contemplations to see the disadvantages of self-centeredness, the advantages of working for the benefit of others, those familiarities that we've started to develop have created positive karmic seeds in our mind. So we just think that may these karmic potentials, may they ripen in whatever way is most suitable to support me in my continued spiritual growth and development, so that I can continue to work on my mind, to overcome the causes of suffering in my mind, and be of greater and greater benefit to limitless sentient beings. If we have some understanding of enlightenment, we strongly think may it serve as a cause for my enlightenment, so that I can work perfectly for the benefit of all sentient beings. And we just also dedicate for the long life and health of all of our spiritual guides, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, may our practice serve as a cause to create the conditions to again and again meet spiritual teachers and for them to abide limitlessly amongst us. All right.
Thank you very